Alright, tonight we are making taco bake. As you can see, I've got the cast iron skillet. Throw a little bit of olive oil in there. And for this taco bake, we're using 8614 meat. The recipe calls for 1 pound, and I don't think that's going to be quite enough, so I'm going to use 3 pounds of meat in here. And we'll wait for that skillet to heat up. While we're waiting on the skillet to heat up, I ought to tell you what we got in here. I've already diced up 1 onion. To go in here, we have, I need to get better lighting, we've got 2 cans of Ro-tel, a large can of cream of chicken, and 2 cans of ranch style beans. While the meat is cooking, which will be here just a second, it's starting to heat up. Yeah, there's some heat getting in that pan now. Oh, don't that sound good. One other thing we're going to use, almost couldn't find it, we're going to be using some minced garlic, and we're going to be using some taco seasonings. Use the taco seasonings of your choice. Get back in there, and every little bit of that maybe. While this is browning up, I'm going to open up these cans. I'm going to strain out 1 of the cans of tomatoes. I'm going to strain both cans of ranch style beans. I'm going to put all this right here into a bowl and get that stirred up. I'll be right back. I've not ever used this camera, but we'll give it a try. As you can see, some of the ingredients there. We've got the granulated garlic, we've got the taco seasoning, we've got salt and pepper and onion, and then the cream of chicken soup, the Ro-tels, and the ranch style beans. And as you can see, the hamburger meat is cooking. The only other thing we're going to need, of course, with the diced onions and garlic we're going to put in hamburger meat here in a little bit, is we're going to have some shredded cheese and a bag of tortilla chips that are all crushed up. And I'll show you that here in a minute. Alright, back to this camera. Use as much or as little seasonings as you like. As you can tell, we like some seasoning in here. That was the taco seasoning. There's some granulated garlic, about that much. We've got some onion powder. We've got some pepper. Probably a little much on the pepper. And a little bit of salt. Alright, as you can see, this is getting close to being brown. I don't like to cook my hamburger meat to death to where it's rocks instead of, something nice to eat. But I do like to get the pink out of it, and I'm doing something like this. This right here, like I said, was the 8614. Use the hamburger meat that you like. 80-20. 90-10. I was going to do some 90-10, but opted for this instead. It looked really, really good. It was fresh at the store. And, of course, the price was right. So, we're going to get this finished cooking here in a minute. And then I'm going to get a spoon, and we're going to ladle some of the fat out of this, and then we'll add the onions and garlic. fact, I'll just go ahead and add the onions now. Make sure we get all of them. I don't want an onion left. And that looks good, we like that. And for garlic, I like getting these containers of garlic. Just make life a lot easier. And we're going to put in about that much, maybe a little more. And like that. As you can tell, we like garlic and stuff around here, we like seasonings. So we'll finish mixing this up and we'll be back here in a second. Alright, after a few minutes have gone by, one thing I like to do is, of course I've drained most of the fat off, I like to put a little bit of water in there, just a little. And crank that just as high as it'll go. I like to steam everything just a little bit, makes the onions just a little more tender. Of course, if I hadn't added the seasonings, I would have had the seasonings in the water, got all that mixed up to where everything get distributed nice and even here in the meat. We'll coat this on high till all that water is evaporated out. Alright, after a few minutes here, the water is completely evaporated. I've got a little bit of steam coming off. That's okay. Right now is a good time, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and fire up your oven. I've got mine set at bake at 350. Of course, I need some bigger sides in this skillet, making a mess. We'll switch to the other camera. Alright, here's all this stuff in the bowl. Haven't mixed it yet, but that's what it looks like. I only drained both cans of the Ro-tel. I was going to drain the beans, but the lick was pretty thick, and so I didn't drain that. So that's 2 cans of Ro-tel, 2 cans of ranch style beans, and a large can of cream of chicken soup. Now I'm going to get this mixed up. Okay, I've got everything mixed up in the mixture. I'm going to turn this down to almost off. I'm going to start adding the meat mixture into this bean and sauce mixture. I'm hoping I've got a big enough bowl. Otherwise, we're going to make a gigantic mess. In fact, I'm going to get a towel here. This handle's hot. Pour all this in here. And as you can see, there's no grease left. Most of that grease poured out. We added some water, and all that water's gone. I'm going to scoot this to the side. There we are. Scoot this over here where I can work. Here's a piece of hamburger. Fell out. Now, we're going to mix all this up real good like. There used to be a show on TV, and the chef used to say that you could probably smear this on the bumper of the car and make that bumper taste good, and I guarantee you. I bet this right here would make a bumper on a car taste good. Give me a couple of slices of bread and we'll make a sandwich out of this. I'll keep stirring. Alright, Next thing we're going to do is get our glass baking dish out. I'm thinking this is going to take more than one, so I've got another one set over here. Spread that down real good. While I'm doing this, I'm going to open this here up. I've got my cast iron skillet over here in the back. Just washed it out. All you need cast iron is some a paper towel and some hot water. You never ever put soap into your cast iron. I like to put it onto the stove, boil and evaporate all the water out, and we are very close to that right now. While that's happening, we got a bag of these tortilla chips. I'm going to crush them up. Alright, you can see this water's just about evaporated out of this skillet. And this skillet is, hot. It is screaming hot. So I've always got a can of the Crisco laying around. I've always got a bag in there, or rag in there. Go ahead and, in fact, I'm going to turn that off. Swipe that around real good. Just like that. Don't forget your helm. Now your skillet is ready to go next time. That is probably the very best non-stick skillet you could ever have. I'm going to have to assemble this. Just make a layer like that. And then start scooping this in. And what we're going to do is make a couple layers out of this. I don't know. We're going to make at least, may have made this just a little tall. That's good like that. Let's do that, make another layer. And we're going to keep spooning this on. I don't know if I can get all this in there or not. Keep working that in there. But I know I'm not going to. I'm not even going to attempt it. And I'm going to check over here. Yeah, I got just a little bit more chips together. But what we're going to do, go like that, come over here, get a bag of shredded cheese. That's where it opens right down there. And looks like I need to sharpen the knife. There's always more than one way to and a cat. We'll get this open. I'll throw some cheese on top. And then we're going to put this in the oven. We're going to bake it for probably 15-20 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And while we're waiting, as you can see, that cast iron skillet is good and ready to go for the next time I want to cook anything. There's no need in spending a whole bunch of money when you can get some good cast iron that will last you forever. Alright, it's time. After about 15 or so minutes, pull these out of the oven. And those are hot. Things to have with this. Hopefully I don't hit the camera. As I open up the door to the ice box over here, of course your peconi sauce and your sour cream. Probably could have gotten away with just a little bit more cheese on there, but that's okay. But I'll put the ingredients up. Y'all enjoy. I forgot to tell you the drink of choice. First time I've had this is the Budweiser Black Crown. This is some tasty stuff. Till next time. I thought I'd get in here with the better camera so you can see that bubbling. I mean, there's bubbling all over that. That looks good. Maybe a little shade overdone on the cheese, but that's okay. I want to put a side note in here. Pulled out a jar of the famous peconi sauce. You know, the one made in Texas, not New York City. Not saying anything bad about their brand. I mean, it's good stuff. Probably the last time you're going to see me use store-bought until that bottle's done. I think I'm going to start making my own from now on. That way I can put in the amount of onions and garlic and the heat and everything for my specific taste. They make a great product, but I think I'm going to start making my own. I think it'd just be a little better product. Anyway, I'll put the ingredients on right now. See y'all later.